This is going to be a bit of a rant. I haven't planned anything. I've just got to the office earlier than usual, and I felt like talking, sharing some insights. So I've just started the camera, and here we are. Sometimes this is what it takes. The first step. That's probably the most difficult thing. Your expectations are so high that you don't feel the necessity of getting started with the limited resources you have here. You might not be conscious of the fact that you're actually procrastinating. You'll never be perfectly ready. Trust the process. Get started somewhere. Go ahead and make things happen. And that happens with so many things in our lives. Dreams, long-term, short-term goals, anything that you're planning to do, but you will end up finding whatever reason. It's actually easy to find a reason not to do something. It's like we always come up with this cheap defense. No, I was so busy. No, I had to do it. I was waiting until I have everything together. Well, that's fine. I'm not against perfectionism. But most of the time, this is actually the source of procrastination in many people. Waiting until they have everything perfectly done before they start, while you actually perfect yourself in the process. Trust the process. When I started recording videos, and that's nearly a decade ago, I didn't know how much it would bring to me. I was just there. I felt like talking, and it was a way different format. I've tried almost everything. I didn't know that it was going to be a life-changing experience. Today, everything I do professionally revolves around content creation. I have over 100,000 subscribers on my different platforms, and I was able to build a community, to build a business, something that has helped me go places, literally. And this is what it takes. The first step. Once you intuit and you have the right mindset and you know where you're going, you'll definitely make it. It's just a matter of time. So it's all about how you see the outcomes, right? You can get started and then maybe you can fail once, twice, and 3 times. Is that an indicator of failure overall and you not being qualified to make it in this specific field? I don't think so. And unfortunately, another reason for people being misled or just giving up on whatever they get started with is their environment, is the ears around and the mouths around, what people will tell you, especially those who have never tried what you're getting started with. We live in a world where the society encloses us into a bubble of one sphere of competence. You are a doctor, you are a teacher, you are one thing, only one thing. You can't do anything else. And that's how most people would go. And I believe that more than the average human has more than one string to their bow. It's just about you getting started, trying different things. And over time, you will realize that there is this one thing, at least one other thing, one extra thing that works. And that's what happened with me, with content creation. I wasn't naturally a well-spoken person. I had just developed this passion for, the camera, for conversations, for getting people to talk. And this is something that I've discovered lately, that I'm probably a natural at getting people to get to the bottom of their idea, telling stories, exploring the world, a certain part of the world through the lens of certain people, who come up with their experience and get to share their life stories. And that's something that I have discovered in the process. How did it happen? I just got started. Trusting the process, being consistent, and doing the right thing. That's everything. So you want to lecture yourself, you want to learn from your mistakes. It's not just about making mistakes, but being able to draw on what you've done wrong and what you've done well, and learning the right lessons from it. I believe that time will always be your best ally if you go through this process of being consistent, being analytical, and making the most out of whatever you're doing. And I remember that at a certain stage of my life where I was like the average person, planning to go to school and starting to work for a company and, following the normal professional course. And I have heard this life-changing and striking quote that life is too short to spend it out helping other people achieve their dream. And that's where everything has changed. The narrative has been literally changed. And I've come to the point that nothing, absolutely nothing, forces me into being subject to somebody else's instructions, way of seeing things in the professional context. I can do my own things. I can develop skills and bring value. And by getting started somewhere, I was able to learn in the process. By teaching, I was able to self-teach. And I've come to a point where I've built my world around the skills that I had developed over time by just getting started, by just trying. Don't let the people around you fool you. And as a matter of fact, I believe that your environment, the ecosystem in which you evolve, will determine the quality of your achievements. So you don't want to stick around dream killers, and sometimes these can be very nice people who actually love you, but they unconsciously put themselves forth when they advise you against taking this risk. If that is, for instance, about you traveling, it's probably because of the fear of losing you, not having you around, without thinking about the long-term outcomes of it. So I do believe in the fact that you are the average of your 5 closest friends, and you are the result of your environment. Anyway, let's cut it short, and I'm saying this from personal experience. The most important thing in achieving significant milestones is getting started, trusting the process, being consistent, and remember that the regrets of not trying will always loom larger than the failure.